Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss all the possible questions from the poem Fog. It's a very short poem, so let's see how many questions we can solve from this poem. Let's begin. The first question, what is the fog compared to? A. A dog. B. A kitten. C. A silent city. Or D. A cat. This is an easy question, isn't it? The fog is compared to a cat. Yes. Next question. In what ways are a fog and a cat similar? So, what are their similarities? They both are silent and quick to come and go. The fog comes quickly and stealthily like a cat. So, what is the meaning of stealthily? Stealthily means cautiously. And then moves to settle somewhere else, just like how a cat cannot settle at one place. So these are the similarities between a fog and a cat. Both are very quiet, silent, and agile. Quickly come and they quickly leave. How does the fog come? Which major poetic device is mentioned in the poem? So the fog comes quietly, just like how a cat quietly moves on its paws. The poem uses the metaphor of the fog as a cat, emphasizing its silent and mysterious arrival. So in this, the poet has used extended metaphor, where the fog is compared to a cat. What is the fog looking over? A. A cat. B. Harbor. C. City. Or D. Skyscrapers. So what is the fog looking over? It is looking over harbor and city. How does the poet describe the fog's arrival and movement? So the fog comes on little cat feet and sits over the city and harbor and sits overlooking the city and harbor. So the fog comes on little cat feet and quietly sits overlooking the city and harbor. How does the poet use imagery to describe the fog? So the poet has used imagery like silent haunches and little cat feet to create a vivid picture of the fog's movement. So imagery such as silent haunches and little cat feet. So in these ways, the poet has used imagery. What lesson does the poet want to teach us? Again, this is an important question. The poet wants to highlight the beauty of the natural world. Like life, fog can be unpredictable and fleeting, yet beautiful. Okay, so it wants to highlight the beauty of nature. Though it is very unpredictable and fleeting, it does not stay for a long time, yet it is beautiful. The poet wants us to pay attention and appreciate the passing fog, which is usually considered to be an everyday event that we normally overlook. So we normally overlook such everyday matters, but the poet is telling us to consider it and pay attention. Next is, we consider nature as insignificant and passive, but in reality, it is truly alive and has a significant role in our life. So we should not consider nature to be insignificant and passive. It has a very significant role to play in our lives. So it's an important question. Please study that. Okay. Sit looking over the harbor and city. Which figure of speech is used in these lines? A. Alliteration. B. Assonance. C. Hyperbole. Or D. Personification. So here Personification is used where the fog is said to be sitting overlooking the harbor and city. So it is personified as a person. What emotions or moods are evoked in the poem? So the poem evokes a sense of peace, quiet, and a sense of mystery among its readers. Next, the fog is compared to a cat. How does the cat behave? The cat quietly comes on its soft padded paws and sits on the haunches and observes the city and harbor. What's its haunches? On the hind legs. Then, after some time, it silently moves on without making any noise. So, this is how the cat behaves, which is actually the fog. So, this is in short the entire poem. The cat quietly comes on its soft padded paws and sits on the haunches, observes the city and harbor, and after some time, it silently moves on without making any noise. And that's the end of all the questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. Study well, do not procrastinate. God bless.